Hello, today on Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner Cooking, I am going to be making homemade beef jerky. I have been craving this and I'm going to show you how to do it. Here we go. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a handful of sugar and a handful of salt. You can use kosher salt. A lot of people prefer kosher salt, but I don't think it makes any difference. Okay, handful of salt, handful of sugar. And then I'm going to add probably a tablespoon of pepper. And I realized I didn't have much garlic powder left, so this is probably, I don't know, a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'd normally add a little bit more. And then I'm going to add probably a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. And then I am going to add my filtered water. I'm not going to add a whole lot because I want to have room for my meat. And I'll tell you, beef, boy, this isn't going to be cheap beef jerky. So, all right, I'm going to set that off to the side. And then I ended up buying 3 of these, kind of like a chuck roast. You want a tough cut of meat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be cutting this with the grain. You don't want to cut it against the grain. And you always want to cut it a little thicker than what you want it, because this piece right here is going to be half of that. So, and if you notice, it's with the grain, because you want it to be jerky, you know? No, I got that one a little too thin. And the thicker ones go at the bottom of the smoker, and the thinner ones go at the top. And I don't know if you guys saw my smoked salmon recipe, but I'm using my little old-fashioned smoker. And anyway, once I get this all cut up, I'll come. Okay, I got this first one cut up. And I'm not going to worry too much about the fat because it kind of just melts away. Look at that beautiful piece of meat. And I have to tell you, my daughter got married to an Albanian man. And I don't know if you've ever been to an Albanian wedding, but man, does it rock. They had a drummer and people danced for 4 hours straight. It was the greatest thing in the world. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this meat, just put it right in my brine. I've got 2 more to cut up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak this overnight. I'm actually staying with my daughter's dogs for 2 weeks while they're on their honeymoon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this soak in the brine overnight tonight. And then I'm going to bring this over to her house and I'm going to show you how to smoke it. So what you want to do is after you get all the meat in the brine, see what nice pieces of jerky that's going to make? And this was, let's see, chuck shoulder. That's what this was, chuck shoulder. So it's good and tough. And I got it for, I think, $10.99 a pound, which sounds awful, but it's actually pretty good for right now. So what I'm going to do is after I get the rest of these cut up, I'm just going to take this like so, going to put a plate over it. So that it sinks below the water. And I will show you tomorrow what I'm going to be doing with it. There's a whole process to this after you let it soak in the brine. So I'll be here tomorrow about this time, I guess 10ish, and I'll show you what to do. I left out one important ingredient. Kikkoman soy sauce. I don't know if you've watched my channel, but I am a Kikkoman soy sauce girl. So this is probably a 1/4 cup of Kikkoman that I'm putting in this. And I want to stir that around because I have one more one more roast to cut up. And I wanted to get that in there before I get all the meat in there. And I'll show you when I get the next roast cut up. Just a minute. Older roast worked out really good because there wasn't a lot of fat on it. And this is going to be some good jerky. My daughter's really into protein, so I'll leave some of this with her for when she gets back from her honeymoon. But, oh, this is going to be so good. I've been craving jerky. So, okay. See you tomorrow. I know I keep telling you I'm done, but I just want to show I'm going to get in there with my hands and make sure that everything is coated. I'm not going to be here tonight, so I'm not going to be able to stir it. Normally, I would stir it midway through. But then what you want to do, make sure it's all down into that brine. Really good. And then you want to put your plate on it so that it makes sure it's all under there. And that's it. My jerky out of the fridge. And now I'm going to start the drying process. You want to let it dry for a couple hours. So what I'm going to do, look at that beautiful meat. I'm going to put paper towel underneath my drying racks here to catch some of the dripping. And basically, all you want to do is take it out and lay it out to dry just for about an hour. Let me see, make sure I got you in there. And make sure it has one good dip left of the juice. This was a little bit over 24 hours that I had this in here. And every piece that you see is going to be half the size that it is right now. Make sure I got enough underneath there. And basically, you just lay it out to dry, and I'm gonna blot it a little bit with the paper towel too. Make sure I got enough underneath there so it doesn't drip on my floor. They say just about an hour is all you need. So I'm going to move that around so you can see the other one here. It's going to be a nice batch of jerky. And this was 3 roasts that I used. I didn't spend the night home last night because I'm watching the dogs, but had I been, I would have stirred this a couple times to make sure it was all, you know, uniform. And I think what I'm going to have to do, I'm just going to have to put some right on the paper towel. That's okay. That's what I normally do anyway, is just put it on paper towel. Just trying to preserve some of that yummy brine. Gives it such good flavor. And I'm going to surprise Caroline with some of this after she gets off of her honeymoon. She loves jerky. You know, these young people are all about the protein now. So this is definitely high protein. So I'm going to let this rest for about an hour. I am going to blot it a little bit here. You want to be careful not to leave it on the paper towel too much because you don't want the paper towel to melt on it. So I'm just going to be blotting this like so. And I am going to add some pepper. Let me show you. I'm actually going to set that on a plate. So that it does not melt into that paper towel. I've had to peel paper towel off of this stuff before, and that's not fun. So that's going to be quite a piece. I'll probably cut that a little bit. Okay. It's kind of a messy proposition here, but it is so worth it. Okay. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more pepper. Wash my hands real quick. I'm just using my little chef. A lot of people have these fancy smokers now, but you don't really need a fancy smoker. This stuff is just going to be absolutely delicious. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, let me blot it one more time here. Okay, now I'm going to pepper it. And you don't have to do this part, but we like peppery jerky. So that's what I'm doing. And what I'm going to do, after this sits out for about an hour, I am going to put it in a cake pan with a lid, and I am going to take it to my daughter's. And I'm going to show you how to smoke it. Just regular old black pepper is just fine. I'm not doing the coarse one because I want to do the fine one. And there it is. And I will see you at my daughter's. And we're going to smoke it. The first thing I'm going to do is fill up my pan with hickory. You can get this most anywhere. I figured this will take maybe 3 pans of smoke. You don't want to do too much because you can make it go rancid. See, this is what it is. It's just hickory. So I'm going to start that in there. What you do, you put it in this little slot right here, and there's a little coil pan that heats it up. Here, I can show you. See, it's a little coil pan. That's all it is. Very simple. So now I'm going to start loading my racks. And what you want to do is I've got the my jerky right here, and the thickest pieces you want to put on the bottom, and the thinner one, medium to thin, you want to put on the top. And you can put them kind of close together because they shrink. So I'm just gonna load it up like so. This is a little thinner, so it's going on top. This is more medium, so it's going on the middle rack. It's probably more medium too. I might have to hang some of these because it's might not have enough room for it all. So you load it up like so. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to have to hang some of these. So what you want to do when you hang them is you just put it over like so and just hang them just like that. And that's all there is to it. So when I get these all loaded up, I'll show you how to put them in. Okay, now I'm going to load it up. Into my smoker it goes. But real easy so it doesn't fall off. And then I'm going to put the lid on. And I'm going to put my, what do I do with it? Oh, I've got my little wrap that I'm going to put around it. Hang on. I've got one of these things for your windshield, and I put the round part around the pan part, and this helps hold the heat. That's what you want. You want it to hold the heat so that it kind of cooks it and smokes it. So I put this around it like so. And there we are. And I probably will be smoking this well into the night, maybe getting it out tomorrow morning. And I'll show you what we got. Hey, it's like 6 in the morning, so we're gonna do the big reveal here. put a plastic bag on it just in case it rained last night. Oh my gosh, it looks great, you guys. It looks absolutely great. Look at this beautiful jerky. Oh my gosh. So it went probably, put it up close so you can see it. It went probably, I put it on 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and I gotta let it cool now, but you can tell that it's nice, really nice here. I'm gonna let it cool and take it off and put it in the pan. You can hear the birdies. Thank you so much for watching my little homemade jerky. It's not that hard to do, and you can get the fancy machines, which it won't take as long. So let's see, it's 6 o'clock, so it was about 28 hours or something like that. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. And remember, there's nothing you can't do if you put your mind to it. Love the Lord with all your heart. Till we meet again.